Hello everyone, I'm Alejandro and now I'm going to talk about two more difficult words to pronounce, normally for Latin people or people who live here in Colombia especially. So now the first word is comfortable. Yeah, comfortable. Now you can see the transcription on the screen. First of all, this word has 4 syllables and the stress one is in the first syllable, okay? So now, but what is a little complicated to pronounce for people from here? I mean, normally because, for example, we pronounce the words like in a complete way. For example, in this case, confortable, we pronounce as we read, comfortable, yeah? But in English, there are like some sounds that are not produced. So that's the reason why this word is pronounced comfortable. I mean, in this case, the sound or is not produced, okay? That's the reason why this word sounds like comfortable. So now let's have like a kind of tip, So we need to have in mind that we are like talking in another language. So it is like kind of important that you be aware that sounds and rules are really different from your own language. In this case, for example, in Spanish, you pronounce the word almost in the same way that you read it, but in English, you need to pronounce it like in a very different way sometimes. So you need to have that like into account when you are like learning another language, and that's it. Okay, now let's see the second word. In this case, the word is vegetable. So you can see the transcription on the screen too. So what happens with this word? I mean, it happens almost the same that with the previous one. We don't need to pronounce or to produce a certain sound. In this case, the sound G. We don't pronounce that sound, and we try like to change that sound, with a CH sound, like sh, followed by a D sound, vegetable. So that's the way in which we pronounce this word. To clarify, this word has 4 syllables too, and the stress one is in the first syllable, okay? Now let's look for a sentence using the words we already saw. So now the sentence is, I don't feel very comfortable eating vegetables. Now as we can see on the screen, the transcription of the sentence, they're like the way how to pronounce exactly the sentence. So again, I don't feel very comfortable eating vegetables. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Hi teacher, I'm going to talk about these 2 words that I have had a lot of problems in pronunciation at first when I started learning English. Okay, let's start with island. I select this word at first. You will see the phonetic form some part in the screen. And so why is this word so tricky at first? Well, it is because we as Spanish speakers use the S sound very often, letting us to pronounce the word as Iceland instead of island. Uh, why is the S sound silent in this word? Well, that's part of historics. Some people think that the silence of the S sound in the word island has its origins when the British coloners landed on new terrains to colonize and explore. Something like I land here. You get it? That's some popular origins for this word. Now, the structure. This word has two syllables and the stress is on the first syllable. The word is pronounced island. Now, here on the screen, we have that sound like I, as I told you, I, like to referring to yourself. Later, the L sound, right here maybe, and it is followed by the schwa. I'm finishing with the sound N and D, so you pronounce it as island with the S totally silent. Now, the second one, it's a pretty difficult one, even for native speakers. It is rural. It's a very difficult one, and I selected it because when I was looking for new words, I found this one, and I said, "Wow, this should be pretty easy to pronounce." And I found that it has. I found that a lot of native speakers had problem with the pronunciation of this word. So I decided to look more about this word. Rural is difficult to pronounce in Spanish speakers because we always say we are like this this thing in our mind that led us to pronounce the R sound as R, as we always did it. So maybe for Spanish speakers, rural could be pretty easy. I'm thinking it is rural, but it is not. Now, the history of this word is a mix of Old French and late Latin. It was called ruralis here on the screen, and that made reference to country or open spaces in the environment. Continuing to the pronunciation, the first thing that we need to take into account is the stress syllable. Rural have two syllables and the stress is in the first one. Now you need to put your tongue blade in the soft blade to pronounce the R sound. Once you dominate that, you will be able to say rural. Now there's another trick to pronounce this word. I found it in a video from the Cambridge College, and it is that you don't need to pronounce the complete word like as an unity. No, you can say first you say you dominate later you say the first part and you finish with the A and the L. That sounds rural. Now you know you can try it. It is like to take two parts, the two syllables, and pronounce it like in an individual way, but like at the end of the pronunciation you combine them. That's like a little trick for that. The phonetic part, we have the R sound next to the near, close, near back vowel. Now you have the another R sound and the schwa, and later the L that need to be pronounced individually, as I said. To finish, I have the final sentence. It will appear here in the screen. I'm gonna read it. For vacations, I want a rural house on an island. Now I will pronounce it I will pronounce it in the way as an Spanish speaker that don't have idea how to pronounce this word. For vacations, I want a rural house on an island. That sounds pretty different and it doesn't have sense to native speakers. So we need to be pretty specific with the pronunciation of these two words, because if you say something as in Spanish, it will be completely with no sense. It will completely lose its sense. And that's it. Thank you, teacher, and bye.